Yo, sorry about that. My net's been cutting in and out and all sorts of crazy stuff. Guys, my apologies on the internet. Is everybody okay? Okay, cool. I really apologize about that. I don't know what happens with these things sometimes. You know how it goes. Technology is a pain. What's crazy is I get sometimes better internet when I'm traveling in Bali, which has like 0.5% internet compared to when I'm at home sometimes. I'll tell you what, if you guys forgive me, I promise to give you the best show that you guys have ever seen in the history of any webinar ever. All right? So I'm going to give you my all. We will go till 3-4 hours. But you guys just forgive me for that. All right? Forgive me for that. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is I do. And I'm going to take this thing home. And guys, we're going to have fun. Because not only are we going to have fun, we're going to learn something. And I think that's frankly just more important than anything. Guys, I want you to stick around to the end for a special offer and a question and answer with me. All right? I'm going to throw away, giveaway. Josh will probably know better. I believe we always do a free boot camp. Man, I got some hot hats. Anybody need some gear? Man, I got so much gear running around here. Hold on one sec. Man, I got gear on top of gear. Hold up. Man, I got gear. Look at this stuff. Hold on here, right here. All right? You guys like this one? That's hot, right? Man, I designed these myself. Look at this one. Who likes this one? Oh yeah. This is what we call my everyday hat. So guys, if you wear hats, like if you're bald like me, you've got to have everyday hats. So like you got your baldness. So like, okay, my goal is more to look like kind of Vin Diesel. I'm not gonna look like The Rock. I'm gonna look more like a little bit more like Vin Diesel. So I got my everyday hat, right? But then you got like your specialty hats. Like say you got like a different type of hat, different type of outfit. So then you got a blue hat, right? So that is like your specialty hat, right? But then you got your Old Faithful. Old Faithful is your classic look, right? This is what I do, right? So that's your Old Faithful. I always wear Old Faithful. Now let's get to work, guys. Y'all ready to learn? Y'all ready to do something? Let's talk a little bit about today's agenda. First of all, I'm Kanal. I am the janitor of this place. I am sometimes the head honcho of this place, but I am the teacher. I have been lucky enough to teach thousands of students over the years. And so I don't call myself a CEO anymore. I don't even call myself a business owner anymore. I am literally a teacher. I'm a teacher of men and women that are trying to take their lives and take it to that next level. I'm a mentor to men and women in their lives that are sick and tired of listening to other people's bullshit. I'm a mentor to men and women in their lives who have always thought in their back of their minds that there is something better out there, that there's something more out there that they could be doing, that maybe their boss is not actually a mentor. He's just a guy that checks your timesheet. I'm the guy that at some point when you realize your boss is just checking your timesheet, I'm the guy that actually sits you down and talks to you about your goals, your dreams, and how to actually go out and attack them. Some of my best students that I've ever had in this world don't even trade. I mentor people, and the things I teach them, they use them in other businesses. They use them in other models. They become entrepreneurs. And guys, I have a dozen students of mine that I've taught in the stock market that guess what? They're competitors of mine, but I got no competitors, right? And that's what I do. So today we're going to talk about technical analysis and overview and why we use it. I'm going to show you a little bit about the indicators I use and what we do every day with it. We're going to talk a little bit about swing trading and day trading and the setups that have been so hot, but also profitable for us in 2018. Why you have to build that 70%, that's not technical analysts, right? Risk management. We're going to talk about psychology. We're going to talk about timing. And then we're going to compile all this together. And how do we actually turn this into a strategy? So, like, anybody here, guys, raise your hand. Anybody here ever read a trading book that was awesome, but it didn't really get you anywhere with your trading? I've read dozens of them. Anybody ever read a good trading book, but didn't really get you anywhere? Yeah, exactly, right. 100%, Mike. Trading books are amazing, right? Loads of books. But where do they get you? It's most of the time nowhere. And the reason is I was like this too when I was new. When you take bits and pieces of information from like 1,000 different sources, and it's not in any particular order because it's not from the same source. It's not from somebody that knows it all. Then what happens? You're taking some info from here. You're taking some info from here. You're taking some info from there. And now what's happening is you're taking bits and pieces of information and trying to compile it all on your own without really understanding the right recipe, the right order of like where things truly need to be. See, trading, guys, is about one thing. Trading, I think, is the hardest thing I've ever had to learn to do. Not because it's so hard on a intellectual level. I learned other things in school and other things that I think are a lot harder. Chemistry is harder, right? Science is harder. A lot of things harder to learn. But trading is difficult because like you're taking so many pieces of information, but you're left to just compile it on your own, right? And then you're trying to figure things out. How my mentor, Paul, taught me how to trade. He told me that every single trade setup, like a pattern, is a recipe in a cookbook. And in that recipe, right, like Paul told me, he goes, can I look at a recipe? Say you want to bake a cake. I said, well, I don't bake cakes. My mom does that for me. He goes, yeah, pretend you're not Indian and you're like a normal human being and you bake your own cakes. I'm like, all right, I don't know. I'd never do that, but okay, I'm baking my own cake. So he goes, okay, so you're baking your own cake and you've never done a cake before. So you open up this cookbook. You open up this beautiful cookbook. You buy it at Barnes and Nobles. And at the time, Barnes and Nobles was where you got your books. Nobody even went to Amazon, right? So you got this beautiful cookbook at Barnes and Nobles. And you want to bake a cake. So you open up to page 44. It's got this best cake. He goes, Cano, in the cake, in that recipe, is there like 3 or 4 items like that you do? Or is it very detailed? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to be very detailed. He goes, oh, yeah. What happens in a recipe? I'm like, well, they give every single thing step by step of what you have to do so that you have the end dish. He goes, okay, so that's what I'm going to do for you. For every single trade, we're going to have a recipe. There's going to be a step 1, a step 2, a step 3, a step 4, a step 5, so on and so forth. And I'm going to show you this in order. I'm like, oh, sweet, cool. All right, now I got the list, right? The list of stuff that I need to do. He says, but the caveat is this, Kanal. The caveat? Okay, what's the caveat? He says, well, if you do one of the steps in the wrong order, just like in any cake, your cake is going to taste like shit. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to eat shit, right? That'd be disgusting. And he's like, exactly. In trading, if you do it like that, if you have a list of a recipe and one piece is missing, then your cake or your trade is going to be a loss, because trading is such a finite game like that. If you have the recipe and you do it in the right order, you make money. But if you miss a piece of it, then you lose money. So that's what we're going to talk about, is compiling all that stuff. So you guys know who I am. I've been doing this my whole life. I've been talking all over the world, doing all this fun stuff. You guys have seen me, you heard me, and now let's get into what the heck we actually do. So let's talk a little bit about problems that we solve. This is the problems that I find that most traders have that you guys need to find answers to. If you don't find it today because you're not asking, because maybe I didn't go over it, you can ask the questions or you can email me or call me. I'm going to throw out my phone number right now. This is my cell number. If you don't got it, you don't got it. 517-974-1480. Boom. If you got it, you can call me and ask me as many questions you want. I'll mentor you. If you don't got it, fuck, man. You got to write down the shit faster. So what problems does Bose solve for aspiring traders? How to find the best stocks to trade. Guys, we are only as good as the stocks we trade. You know the reason that I was 5 for 5 last week? I mean, I had 5 green days and 5 days trading. Not because I was a good trader. I actually made more mistakes than I made good mistakes or good decisions. I won because I was trading the right stocks. See, we were in those weed stocks. Who was in those weed stocks? Weed, right? We were in the right stocks at the right time because we sensed the trend started. Not knowing how to enter the right stocks at the right time. That's a big part of why people fail. Knowing the right time to exit your positions, right? Knowing when to buy is one thing, but knowing when to sell is way more important. Then, of course, lifetime support. One of the problems that happens with new traders is they take a class, they watch a webinar, and what happens after? They get spammed with buy this, buy this, buy this, but they don't have a support system, right? A support system of people they can talk to every day consistently for a number of years. Like I've got people I trade with on GChat, like people I met over a decade ago. We sit there for 10 years talking about trades. Imagine if I'm like doing something bad. Who's going to tell me I'm doing something bad? Boom, 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 boom. Of course, Jesse, you can take boot camp as many times as you need. And then staying on top of market trends. Lifetime access of things. You're going to need all that stuff. So guys, anytime you want to talk to somebody that's taking one of my class, let's do it. So I'm going to teach you a couple different things. Swing trading versus day trading. I'm going to teach you a little bit about swing. Then I'm going to teach you a little bit about day. All right? All traders must know how swing trading works, whether you choose to swing trade or not. It gives you a macro level overview of the market strength and the stock strength on a bigger picture. We learn about daily support and resistance levels, which always trump over intraday levels. Even though we day trade mostly, my personal belief is that all people should learn how to swing trade. Let me tell you something about swing trade. Okay. Guys, swing trading is when you hold stocks for multiple days. Jorge, it's recorded, my friend. This is a recording. I swear. I just run around at 8 p.m. and show people recordings of myself. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody does recordings, do they? I don't know. I don't do recordings. Jorge, I'm just fucking with you, by the way. Guys, You don't watch the Rolling Stones on YouTube, do you? You only see it when you see it live. Now, let's get to work. All right. Why do you need to know how to swing trade? Swing trading tells you the bigger picture of stocks. Swing trading tells you what's happening on a bigger picture. So like imagine like I think a stock is going to be a day trade, right? And I think it's going to be a day trade X amount of time. Well, I can only gather that this stock is ready for a day trade if the longer term picture is telling me it's ready for a swing trade. Say I have a stock at 20 and I think it's going to go to 40 over the next couple of weeks. Well, then what's the best stock to day trade? That stock, right? If I saw the big picture, that stock was at 20 and I thought it was going to go to 15. Would I want to be day trading to the upside, even if I saw a pattern on a day trade basis? Would I want to do that? If I knew it was going to go from 20 to 15? If you knew this thing go from 20 to 15 based on big picture, would you day trade that thing to the upside, knowing it's going to go down every day? No. So to be a good day trader, we have got to be, frankly, good swing traders. Does that make sense? Like we've got to understand what's happening on a big picture of a stock so that we know like what's happening on a smaller term picture. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, good. I just want to make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. All right, thank you, John. Now, I was ready to learn a little bit about some patterns. Good. Let's talk a little bit about support and resistance. All right. So support and resistance. Thank you, Jorge. Support and resistance. Support. So how stocks move around, right? How they actually interact with each other is based on, hold on one sec. Hey. There we go. Somebody just told me that I was coming in fuzzy. Hopefully that helps. So support is literally what support means on a stock is when stocks typically bounce. All right. So how support works. All right. How support works is the bigger the time frame, the thicker the level of support. So X all this junk out. All right. X all this junk out. So let's talk a little bit about support and resistance. All right. Who's here is brand new? Who here is brand new? Like who's never been to one of these webinars? Jorge, my friend, ¿cómo estás? Who else? Diego, ¿cómo estás? Okay. Good. All right, let's go do what we got to do then. We're going to change a little avenue here. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Josh, where is my regular slides? There. Cool. Good. Ruben, how you doing, man? Oh yeah. So let's talk a little bit about support. So support is a trend that can be thought of. Guys, by the way, class is going to go really long today, so just bear with me. We're maybe looking at like a 3-hour kind of thing. A trend can be thought of as the path of least resistance on a stock. A stock will stay in trend until a force is greater than or equal to is thrust upon. Trends are important because the lowest risk, highest reward trades are those in the direction of the trend. Trendless stocks are harder to trade and provide no edge. So what I'm doing is I want to give you a basis of what we do. As traders, we are trend traders. We are in the business of trading stocks that have trends. Why is that? Well, if you try to trade something that, say, has no trend, right? Say you're trading something that has no trend, like silver, right? So like say you're just sitting there having something with no trend. There's no real advantage of what you do. It's not whether it's up or down. It's not really anything. All right. So a stock in motion tends to stay in motion till a trend is thrust upon. What happens with trends that we've found out throughout the history of life is that they can go on for long periods of time, sometimes even years, and that a stock in motion tends to stay in motion till a force is thrust upon it greater than equal to. Make sense? So we're trend traders. And one of the biggest important things that I can show you to do is that when a stock stops its trend, you get out. My biggest losses as a trader have been in stocks that are in a downtrend, and I start to buy them because they're cheap. Anybody ever do that? You start to buy something because they're just cheap, right? So now what happens is you're buying a stock because it's just cheap, and guess what happens? It gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So support and resistance are areas of demand where a stock's current trend is likely to be reversed or temporarily halted. The battle at these levels between bulls and bears over control of price is what makes support and resistance levels. Resistance is when an ascending stock reaches a point where the supply of shares exceeds the demand and its price and its upward movement is halted. That's resistance. So why is this important? Well, if you get a descending stock and it reaches a point where that demand holds up, well, now you have support. And this becomes really important. Does anybody understand like what a breakout is? Like what a real breakout is. This is important. Like what is a real breakout? Josh, why don't you send me some charts of some flat top breakouts? Oh, yeah. Good, 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 good. Good, Ruben. All right, so flat top breakout. What actually makes resistance? What actually makes resistance? So resistance is made from certain levels. Resistance is made from areas of inflection. So how resistance is made is that when you look at a stock, there should be inflection points of where you want to buy or where you want to sell. So where we want to go with this stuff, all right? Where we want to go with this stuff is when we think of resistance, always think about a line in the sand, all right? We always think about a line in the sand in a stock. So when we think of resistance, say a stock comes all the way up to a level, all right? And it's coming and hanging out. And it comes back to a level. And then it comes back down, right? So when you come back to that level a second time, when you come back to that level a second time, all right, what ends up happening is that ends up being a supply. What ends up happening is when that stock gets up there, right? When that stock gets up there, now you've got a level of supply that was there the previous day. So it ends up knocking it back down. Now you come up the third time. So what ends up happening the third time it comes back down? It comes back down a little bit. So what ends up happening is as you start to test a level, as you start to test a level, and you test a level, and you test a level, and you test a level, what ends up happening is that's the level that makes resistance. Resistance is made from lines in the sand. Lines in the sand that are holding down a stock. So like anytime you guys, like for you, those you guys are new, anytime you see like a tabletop that is holding down a stock, what does that mean? That level, that tabletop is your resistance point. So what happens is every time you test the level and you tap into it, you weaken that area because there's a level of supply that's obviously holding the area down. So you test the level, then you test the level, and then you test the level. And what happens, the more times you test it, the more powerful it's going to be. So that's what makes resistance. When you add a tabletop to your certain setups, well, now what happens is you've actually got certified levels that you can count on that are acting as lids. But what happens when you get over that lid? So resistance is like a pressure cooker, right? You got a pressure cooker. A stock is held down by a level of resistance, and you tap into it, you tap into it, and you tap into it. Well, every time you tap into it, it gets a little bit more violent. That resistance level gets a little bit more weak. So that when you finally break over it, you get explosion. That is the basis of all trading. Whether you're day trading, intraday trading, it does not, day trading, long-term trading, all trading goes through some certain things. Tap, tap, tap. You break down a level, you make it weaker. When you finally get over, it becomes explosive. That becomes real explosive. Tap, 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 tap. Do you guys understand what that means? So that's the line in the sand that becomes so important. Every single trade you take has to have that aspect of it where you have a level and you're up there. Well, when it comes back the second time, you'll never get a breakout. You'll never get a breakout. Two tests of resistance are no good. They never work. So what we need is the third test. So one test, two tests, three tests. You always need three tests of resistance to actually have a breakout, guys. You need three tests of resistance to make it. So when you think about breakout, one test, two tests, too weak. Third test, now you're going to be golden. Now the key to all breakouts, who's got their chart set up on their stocks? The key to all breakouts, you got to have that 9 EMA cooking right underneath. You got that 9 EMA cooking right underneath. You guys see that? So you get one test, two tests, three tests, 9 EMA cooking underneath. When you get the 9 EMA holding the stock up, now you got yourself a breakout. All resistance is the same. If you can get the 9 EMA to cook up under it, now you've got yourself a breakout. So this is the same type of deal. See how this stock has been a nice trend. You get this one pop, comes back down. Two pops, comes back down. Third pop. Now, you don't know if a stock is going to break out or break over that level of resistance, right? You don't know that. But if that 9 EMA is underneath, then now you have a level of support that can hold up a stock and let it go and do what it's going to do. So what we want is one test. Remember that all the people that bought here, once it comes down, the second time they're excited, they're going to sell. They're like, I got my money back, right? Anybody ever say that? Like, when I get my money back, I'll get out of this trade? That's the definition of bag holders. When I get my money back, I'll get out of this trade. So this happens in stocks, right? Even ones that are not down that much. This guy gets his money back, they're all selling. You need that third test. When you get that third test, one test, two tests, three tests, on that third test, you're going to buy this thing. All right? That's called a triple tap breakout. You put your stop under the 9 EMA, and now you are rolling. Good. That becomes very, very important. That is, guys, the basis of all breakout trading, right? That is the basis of all breakout trading. So, guys, when we think about so when we think about charting, we use technical analysis for the majority of our day trading setups. So on our daily charts, does anybody not, guys, give me a raise if you don't have any, you don't have a charting platform. Does anybody not have a charting platform? Give me that juice. Give me an idea if you do not have a charting platform. So I just know where we're at. Okay, Jeremy, I got you. Okay, Emmy Broker, Trade Station. TC 2000. Good, 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 good. All right, all right. So we got Quest Trade, TC 2000. Thompson 1. Never heard of that one. Trade Station, Quest Trade. Thinkorswim. Good, good, good. Yeah. All right, cool. So if you don't have a charting platform, Josh, what's the free charting platform people use? Moderate. Good, good, good. I use TC 2000. You can go on here and download the version 18. They have a free version. You can download it. And you have a free version. You can make it look just like mine. So this is what I use. So this is what I'm going to teach on. TradingView sucks because it's so ugly. I've never seen an uglier platform than TradingView. It's nice because it does cryptos, but it's ugly. One of the ugliest platforms I've ever seen. Good, good, good. So indicators. So let's say we have a blank chart. All right, let's say we have a blank chart. So download the TC 2000 for those of you guys that don't have it. I'm gonna give you a second. All right. Tell me when you guys have it. I'll give you about 2 minutes. Hey Trevor, how you doing? I think it's about $10. Good. Everybody got it? Awesome. All right. So if you want to add charts, say you want to have like a blank chart to TC2000. All right. So you want to add a blank chart to TC2000. The key always is going to be, we want to change. Go to net. Say what you got Netflix daily. Let's edit this thing. We want to change this to candlestick. Plot color. Change the green. We want 2 color, right? Open versus close. We want green, red. Leave the rest the same. All right. So like we want green to red for our charts. Good. Now, we want to add some indicators. So let's hit this plus button. All right. Good, 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 good. So we need to add moving average. So it's going to say exponential 50, right? Just keep adding. Type in moving average. You want to change that to simple. Just keep adding. We need to add 4. Good. Now, so you got 50, 50, 50, 50, right? Good. Now, what we need to do is change the first one to 9. All right? Now, keep the rest of this the same. So we got 9. Now, change the next one. Edit this, hit 20. All right, so this one we want to leave 50. Let's change the color. Let's keep this thing a little bit blue. All right. Let's keep this thing 200. Now let's change the colors of all these bad boys. So we got blue. Let's keep that orange. Dun, 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 dun. So we got 9, 20, 50, 200. Oh, yeah, Jesse, I got you. Cool. So this is how your charts are going to look. Good, good, good. So we use 9 because 9 is the short-term moving average, right? The 9 moving average is like the 9-day moving average is the moving average that is like for your short-term trend. So your 20 is your intermediate term trend, your 50 is your also your intermediate term trend, and your 200 is your long-term trend. So this is what your chart should look like. Now, this is the chart that is the key to everything. This is the chart that, frankly, is the key to whatever it is that you're going to do in the future. So we've got to always keep this watch list on the line. So this is how we want to keep these daily charts, all right? Now on our intraday, I want you to add a 9 EMA, a 20 EMA, a VWAP, and then volume weighted average price. So VWAP is volume weighted average price. So why is this important? How do we do this? So guys, give me just a quick introduction on who's a swing trader and who is a swing trader that's going to hold stocks for multiple days, and who is a day trader. Good. Jorge, day trader. Mike, swing trader. Good. So everybody's a swing trader. Hot damn, Josh, you see that? Good, 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 good. All right, all right. Everybody's a swing trader. I'm going to change around some things a little bit. That's good to hear. So a lot of you guys are part-time traders. Good. Let's talk a little bit about swing trades then. I'm going to show you my favorite. Good, Gary. Good to see you. I got you, man. Don't worry about it. All right, so open up your TC2000. I'm going to show you a pattern that I've been using for literally years, all right? So what I do, I'm going to just show you this, guys, real quick. I think this is going to be probably the hottest thing that you guys personally do. All right, so who's got TC2000 here? Just give me a rundown. Okay, so Ryan, Mike, Tim, Jason, good. It doesn't matter what broker you have. Doesn't matter what broker you have. This is what we got to do. Every day you want to run a scan for stocks that are up quite a bit. So I run a scan for stocks that are up 3% or more on heavy volume. Does that make sense? I run a stock and scans for stocks that are up 3% or more on heavy volume. All right. So now what I'm doing is after I see that, I put it on a list. So what I do is I make a list. So as a swing trader, what I do is I essentially make a list for any stock that has run up heavy on earnings. So we're looking essentially for a gap, and I write this down. I want to see stocks that are below like 100 million shares in volume. All right. So this stock like DDD, it gaps up on earnings. See that? And actually continues for a couple days. So what I do on this is how you do it. Every day I run a scan for stocks that are up the most. Top gainers scan. Make sense so far? I'm looking for stocks that have at least 4 or 5 times its average volume. Write that down. So I want stocks that are up at least 3%. I want to see 4 or 5 times average volume. The bigger the jump in the stock, the better, by the way. So if it moves up from 13 to 18, even better. The bigger the jump, the better. Are you guys following me so far? So I want 3% or more jump. I want minimum 1 million shares volume. I want at least 4 or 5 times your average daily volume. So if it does 1 million shares, I want to see damn near 5 million. Does that make sense? Guys, give me some feedback so I know if I'm losing you or not, because I know a lot of you guys are new. And by the way, if you can't figure out the software yet, don't worry about it. I'll help you with that after hours. I want you guys to focus in on the patterns. I want you to focus in on the setup, how to make money on it, and I'll show you later after hours how to fiddle around with the platform. So that's on me. If we're not there yet, I will get you there. It's okay, Margaret. I'm always in your corner, darling. All right. So this thing gaps up and it goes up for a couple days at $20. All right. So now what I'm doing, all earnings breakouts, I do this. This is my go-to pattern that I do in my IRA, 401k, any long-term accounts. Make sure the float is low. I want to see big expanding volume. 20 million shares on the day that it broke up. Normally it does what, 2? Guys, think about that. If it does 20 million shares and normally it does 2, what does that say about how bad people want it? Exactly, right? It tells you people want it bad. People need it. They want it. They want to feel it. This thing is hot, right? So now you got this thing pop up all the way to 2020. Now, where do we want to go with this? When I talk about earnings breakouts, when I talk about getting into something that's hot, something delectable, something enticing, what I need to see is some level of consolidation. I want to see that 9 EMA popping up. Okay, always put a 9 EMA on your chart. That's a 9 exponential moving average. Raise your hand if you don't know what a 9 EMA is so I can explain. Just give me a hands up real quick if you need a quick primer. Anybody? All right. So y'all know what 9 EMA is. Good. Then you guys are my road dog. You guys been with me. You know what I'm talking about. Good, 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 good. First thing we do, after that earnings gap up, right? And if you don't know how to find the earnings gap up, go in the stock market. See this gap right here? That means good earnings. You got the stockmarketwatch.com. You can use trade ideas, whatever. TC2000. You can use a lot of stuff. Once it comes up, we're looking for the first consolidation. All right? I need consolidation. Why? Does anybody know why you need consolidation? Stocks get their power from consolidations and bases. Stocks get their power from sideways movement. It allows you to rest. It allows you to build up pressure. When a stock rests, it consolidates. You get to build up pressure on whether it can explode. Stocks get their power from that. A stock is like a person. Stocks get their power from that type of action. They get their power from resting phases. We want to see, like, once you pop up, I want to see that sideways movement. I want to see it come across. I want to see that 9 EMA come up underneath, right up under that kitchen. What do moving averages do? Moving averages provide support. Moving averages they provide you with a little bit of cover. So you get that 9 EMA covering up. When you break the trend line, all trend lines require 3 taps. I wouldn't worry so much about trends. Trends are for hoes. Wicks are for hoes. Don't worry about wicks. Sometimes there'll be wicks, sometimes there'll be bodies. Ruben, how you want to look at it is you want to connect the dots. Wicks, no wicks, dicks, whatever. We connect the dots. Sometimes they're wicks, sometimes they're no wicks. We want to connect the dots. When it breaks, stop goes under the 9. So I want to buy this thing in 1950. Stop goes at what? 19 bucks, give or take. Right? You always want to put it under the 9. Now you got this thing pop up to 21. Now what's it doing? It's just, what's this pattern again? Good. Ruben, good. Thank you, John. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not buying here, but I'm still holding this one. Guys, this is my classic swing trading pattern. All right. So this thing pops up. All right. You get this thing from 110 to 130. All right. Then you start to consolidate. All right. So you get 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, 4 tap. You get your 9 EMA cooking under it. So I'm going to buy this thing as this trend line pops, right? I want 1 tap, 2 tap. Guys, you always need 3 taps. Always need 3 taps. Stop goes under the 9. So I'm going to buy this at 130. My stop goes under 9. So that'll be about 127. And then you're into this thing. Why does this pattern work? How you do it is you want to search for the gap. The gap means good earnings. Then when it pulls back or goes sideways, that resting phase allows 2 things. For the stock to build up energy and for the moving averages to catch up. When your moving averages catch up and they provide support, that becomes huge because now you have minimal risk on a particular stock. Right now you don't have any risk on the stock because you know where your stop loss is going to go. You can buy, set your stop, let it rock. And guys, Mr. Denali, you're 100% right. When I say earnings, what I just mean is some type of press release. It could be any type of news that causes the stock to go from 94 to 130 in one day. Guys, if this stock is 94 bucks, it goes to 135, 131 in one day. So that's going to be news. And it doesn't matter what kind of news, right? We're not animals, right? We just want news. The fact that it gapped up and it continued on, and you got a huge spike in volume, that tells you right there that what? That tells you right there this is something that's happening, right? This is something that's happening. This is something that's important. That volume tells you the emotional intensity of the buyers in that stock. The volume tells you how bad people want it. That volume gives you confirmation and validity if the move is real. So when you see a move like this, say you see this, we call this one of my best students, one of the greatest traders I know. He calls this the MP. It's called the mega penis candle. So I don't know why, but that's what he calls it. So this thing's at 94 bucks, right? It goes to 130. The volume that we're corresponding with is of that particular day. Now, the volume corresponds with that the day of the earnings, the day of the news, we need to see that big pop. But as it consolidates, you want to see the volume die off. Anytime, and write this down, anytime you see a stock consolidate, it's resting, it's bullish. That means it's bullish. Sideways means bullish, by the way, guys. And if the volume dies down, it's building power. It's building strength. Imagine that you are going to run 100 miles. You run the first 25. What happens after you run 25 miles? Man, you need to take a damn nap, right? You need to rest. After you rest for a while, you build up steam. You build up power. You build up energy. You're hanging. And then what happens when you're released? Again, you're off to the races, right? You're doing it again. And then you're going to go again. And that's where it's got to go. And Mr. Tony D, right? I mean, all trading is assumption. So you're right. Good. How you going to do it again? I'm in this one right now. So check this out. So this thing is 39 bucks. This is Match.com. Who here uses Match.com? I know Phil Botarenko uses it. Phil's telling me he's all these weird ones. Eric Harper, I know you use it. Who here uses that Match.com? Don't act like you all got notebook type of loves. Y'all creeping around. We all creeping around. We're all looking for that notebook type of love. Come on. All right. So we got Match.com. So 39.40. 44. Runs up to 51. So it didn't even rest for a couple days. It just kept running up. And then look what starts to happen. Over the next few days, it starts to pull back. Notice how it just pulls back to that 9 EMA. That's actually a good entry. You can enter right there, by the way. So after earnings breakout, so obviously see how this is 15 million shares? Way bigger than all the other days, right? So it goes on this huge run. Then you start to come back. As long you want this volume, see in the red days, you want the corresponding red days to be less than the green days. Does that make sense? So with the corresponding red days to be less than the green days. You guys follow me? That means that it's healthy, the pullback. So if it starts to pull back and you hold at the 9, when you get that green candle to hold, I'm talking about just a full-blown, nice green candle, right? A good old, just God-fearing candle. A good old boy, right? You get that green candle to hold at that 9 EMA, we know exactly where to put our stop loss, don't we? So as this green candle holds, this is what I do. If it holds at the 9 and I get a green candle to hold, I'm going to buy within this candle. Put a stop under the 9. 9 EMA, by the way, not 9 SMA. Guys, important. 9 EMA, not a 9 SMA. Put a stop under, and then I'm going to play this thing back up to the next level of resistance and then hopefully even higher. Does that make sense? Egal, what do you mean? Describe it. I'll explain it to you. Good. So when you buy a pullback trade, Egal, say you're buying a pullback trade. Usually your first target, it's a good question, by the way. Usually your first target is back up to the old highs. Oh, Marco, yeah, of course. You know, so like usually if anytime a stock makes a high and you pull back, you're always going to be selling off some of it into the old high. Guys, by the way, it's 9:15. We're running a little bit late. A bunch of people have asked if we could take a 5-minute break. Is that cool? Can we take a 5-minute intermission? And everybody's been asking me, so we're running a little bit late. Let's take 5 minutes because we got at least another hour, so I need you guys to stay with me. At least one more hour. All right, cool. Good, 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 good. Everybody back. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Gary. All right, cool. So this becomes important. So I want you guys to think about like this type of setup. So this is a swing trading setup, right? So like, see this one, this is JEC. This is a stock that like had this earnings out and it ran to 74 bucks. But like when it starts to pull back to that 9, you don't always know if the 9 EMA is going to hold. So what happens is as it starts to round, right, you really start to hold there. I usually wait till a green candle to hold. That gives me the confirmation. When I get the green candle to hold, I know that area is real. And that's when I take it and I play this thing back up. So I'm actually in this thing, but it hasn't done anything yet. Hopefully this thing goes in a couple days, but I'm in this thing around here. And hopefully playing this thing to the upside. This is very important when you think about moving averages. So like this was a trade that I actually took a loss on. So I'm going to just talk about this real quick. So this stock had like this tremendous push, right? And then it came back to 110. And you got this green candle to hold, but it only held one day. So the next day, it broke back under 9. So I was in this thing 112. You know, I got stopped out at say about 108. All right. These are daily charts right now. We're just talking about swing trading. If we were talking about day trading, we'd have day trading charts up. Justin, you know that. Just kidding. Good. So this thing, I got stopped out of this thing. But then look what happens. And this is actually important when you do in, of course, Peter. This is what happens a lot in trading. So this thing comes back down, right? So you get this thing down to 20 SMA. Now notice what happens. You get green candle hold, green candle hold, candle to hold, candle to hold. So like as this thing is holding, you know that this level is real. So like you can re-long this thing at 104, right? And now you're into this thing, playing this thing back up to the upside, you know, and you got a potential final target of 1018. You know, so hopefully, you know, we're up a couple bucks on this thing so far, $8 or whatever, but, you know, hopefully this thing comes up all the way back. That's how you want to go with this thing. Now, how you want to do risk. Does anybody know how to do risk? Risk management. This is how I do risk management. So get your pen out. Hold on, let me get a wrong sticky note. Oh, there you go. I use sticky notes for a lot of stuff. Check this out. So imagine, like, say you had a small account and you had a $100 a day risk. $100 per trade. $100 per trade risk management. Make sense? So, and by the way, you know, we'll talk a little bit more in depth on this tomorrow, but I want to just start touching it. So if you have $100 per risk management, if you have 10 cents, how many shares could you have if you had 10 cents? Guys, how many shares could you have if you had 10-cent risk? 1,000, right? Good. So if you had 20 cents, 500 risk, right? If you had 50 cents, 200. What if you had $1 risk? $1 risk, what I mean by dollar risk is like if I bought it $40 and my stop loss was at 39, so I'd have $1 risk, right? So where would my stop loss be if my risk was going to be, how many shares could I have if my risk was $1? 100 shares. Good, Kevin. Awesome. Good, Nick. Good, Mike. See, you guys are catching on. That's how I like to do my risk management. Now look, if your risk was, say, $300 per trade, it'd be different, right? If you had $300 risk per trade and your stop loss was 10 cents, how many shares would you have? 3,000, right? And if it was 20 cents away, you would have, give or take, 1,500. Right? And if it's 50 cents away, you'd have 50, I don't know, 1,500. You guys get what I'm saying. If you had dollar away, it's 300. I'm not a mathematician here, but this is, oh shit. This one we'll have to figure out. But you guys understand what I'm saying. That your number of shares you have is just dependent on the risk. That's all. Yeah, no math, no risk, right? So that becomes really, really important. Guys, put up those sticky notes, by the way. Like, they've saved me. I don't know. Like, trading is tough. I've had, over the years, a lot of things saved me, I think, in my trading. Obviously having Paul as my mentor was huge. Trading with trading buddies, having like some friends that were traders, that were kind of the same ball game as me when I was starting out. I think that was huge. But then, yeah, these sticky notes were huge. I have them everywhere on my fucking computer. Like, I've been doing this my whole life, right? And I'm everywhere on computer, like things that just pump me up, but the rules, like I've got to remind myself to this day of my own personal rules, even though I know the rules. Like, when they're up in your face and they're just there plastered, how can you defy your rules when it's right in front of you? Because if you disobey them, you're essentially telling yourself you don't want to make any money. And I've done that before. Sometimes, you know what? I mean, we're all defeatists at some point, right? Some of us don't really want to make any money. Imagine you had your sticky note. Like, imagine I got this. I keep this on my thing. So, lead, focus, dominate. So I'm telling myself, lead, focus, dominate. And I can't lead, focus, dominate. I failed myself, right? If I can't remember my own rules, then what am I, right? What am I doing, right? And that's going to be really, really important, I think, just in the trading of things. And less, all our students get access to our chat room and stuff. Chat room is such a small part of the trading game. My business is teaching people how to trade so they don't even have to deal with this stuff, So I think that's going to be really, really important when we think about this stuff, is just, it's got to be HAWT. So this is another one. Think about this, earnings breakout. And, Mr. Worst, you're right on that. This thing goes up, 44. Pulls back down a little bit towards that 9, right? You get that little consolidation party. And no matter how you draw, right? It's around the same area. Got that 9 EMA coming up, right? So you break the trend line, get your 9 EMA as your stop loss. Now you're into this thing, and you're going to continue on with this thing as long as it goes till normally it hits its upper Bollinger Band. When it hits something as an upper Bollinger Band, that for me is usually a place where I like to sell. If I get high stochastics, and I hit the upper Bollinger Band, it's usually good to go. TLRY at 59, man. Yeah, I don't know. Hot damn. Look, this thing's a little bit long in the tooth. This is what the beauty of the stock market, guys. You buy couple hundred shares of this thing, right? And you get this stuff, man, that's hot. So yeah, its earnings are out. So if its earnings are out and it opens up strong and it does an ORB pattern or a quick pullback pattern, you could definitely do it. By the way, if anybody wants, for those of you guys that are taking our next class, if you want my particular layouts to TC2000, so you want the scans, all this junk down here, just let me know. Put your email and your phone number. I'll have my guys call you and give you the scans tomorrow. TC2000 is cheap. You get a free trial, you know, and you, of course, you get it's like $30 or whatever. But if you need the scans, you need the layouts, as you're coming to class, just put in your email, phone number. I'll have somebody give you a call and they'll walk you through it. And I'll just transfer my scans to you guys. So there's a way in TC2000, I can literally just mail you and you guys will have literally my scans, my layouts, everything, so that you guys can literally just do the same stuff I do. You know, so you could come in and trade opening range breakouts and just run the same scans. I mean, man, look at this stuff. This market's just so hot right now. I mean, everything just kind of running around. So that's going to be really, really important. So if you want the swing trader scans, you want everything I have, like I can just send it to you. If you're going to take class, I'll make sure to get that to you guys. All right. Guys, did that setup help at all? This earnings breakout setup? So like this setup, like this BRKS, for example. So how do you find new ones? How do you find new ones? So what you want to do, I run a liquid gainer scan on TC2000. Liquid gainer scan is a scan that is about finding new momentum stocks, right? So we learned this earning breakout scan. So this stock gaps up, right? And, you know, on a day trade basis, obviously it just exploded. But on a swing trade basis, which is what we're talking about right now, right? We're talking about right now. So on a swing trading basis, if this stock, now it gapped up and it's got this huge momentum, right? If it starts to consolidate, that 9 EMA catches up. What we want to start doing is, as this thing starts to flag out and consolidate, what we'll do is enter that thing for a swing trade. So like this BRKS is the top of the list for a swing trade. Remember, we're in the business. If you're a swing trader, you want to find the stocks with the hottest earnings, with the biggest volume on the pop. You want to wait for the consolidation. You want to wait for that 9 EMA. You want to let it catch up, curls for the girls. Then you're going to get this thing going, all right? And every day we're running the liquid gainer scan, looking for these stocks. This is the most important thing you can do, right? Is you run the liquid gainer scan every day. You look for the gap up. I don't think so, Nathan. It was moving pretty hot. Right, we're running that liquid gainer scan looking for these actions. Then we put them on a list. Like this one would go on a list, right? This HEI. Gap up, strong volume. It's a breakout the highs. That's hot. So that's going to be a big part of it, right? Now, in our classes, of course, I teach swing trading, I teach day trading. Day trading is my specialty. That's just what I do. Tomorrow, I'm going to have one of my students. His name is Brian. He's from H-Town, Houston. Brian is one of my students. I love this man. He was in the Army. He's got a master's degree. He's been the CEO of companies. He is like literally just the coolest dude around. And he's going to come on and teach you tomorrow. some options trading strategies that use this for like longer term trades. He's also going to teach you some strategies on day trading stocks that you guys are really going to like. I'll be there too. So you guys still get my jokes. You still get to see my wonderful hair, right? You're still going to get to be able to do and see that stuff so that you guys can get this party going. But remember what I said, the earnings breakout pattern, you want to see the gap up, then you want to see that sideways movement. So every day, I want to see you guys run this liquid gainer scan. If you need the TC2000 scans and you're coming into this next class, put your email, put your phone number, I'll send them to you. This thing's $30 a month. It's probably the best technology you're going to get to buy for $30 at least. Right? Every day we want to run these scans. And the same thing to the downside. That's going to be super, super important. All right? And you're right. We are running some early bird specials. But tomorrow we got agenda. Special guest, top student, Brian Boyd. How he struggled as a beginner trader, his path to profitability. What works for him now? Man, this guy's a stud. Wait till you see him. I just spent a week with him in Texas. Frankly, makes a little bit more money than I do trading. He's good. All right? How he's taken our trading methodology but applied it to what he does. And then, we'll still do question and answer with him. Guys, that's going to be so important. So remember, we're starting our 60-day boot camp class. What Brian's going to talk about tomorrow, he's got his own strategy, but this is what he took. You guys, this is the best way to learn how to trade. You get 28 live classes. You cannot learn trading from a DVD. Can't learn it from YouTube videos. Every elite athlete, every elite performer has an elite trainer, an elite coach. Look up my coach, Ben Newman. He coaches athletes. He works with quarterbacks in the NFL. He's elite because that's where I need to go. So that's who I work with. It becomes important because everybody has a coach. I've had a dozen coaches in my life. Real mentors, though. People that have babied me and helped me grow up. I've never been shy about finding mentors. I love my dad, but I see another dad. I've got daddy issues, man. I'm trying to hug him. I'm trying to learn from him. You put a rich man or an accomplished man in front of my face, somebody that has their shit together, somebody that knows what they're doing, that's a giver to their community, that is a leader to their families. Man, I'm trying to soak up everything I can from them. Everybody needs a mentor. That's the nature of the game. So our classes, they're not DVDs. They're not all that bullshit. I do live classes. I get in this tube. I teach you what I know, everything I know. I don't have a second class, guys. I don't have a second class. This is my class. My students have lifetime access to this class. You come to this class tomorrow. You come to this class next week. You want to come to this class 10 years from now? It's still going to be there. Hopefully, Josh will get off his ass and start teaching some of these classes. But I love that guy. I hassle Josh a little bit because I love him so much. And I'm a little bit bummed that he left me yesterday. I'm a little lonely. You know how it goes. When your protege leaves you, you ain't got nothing to do all day. So, classes are live. Everything is recorded. You get lifetime access. You got quizzes, homework, sessions. We do market recaps. So, guys, I know that trading is hard. Trading is like book knowledge, right? So I've got like a course book. I know where this thing is. Whoa. Oh, man. So we got like a 200-page course book, right? 200-page course book that talks about everything that we do. It's kind of cool, right? Beyond the course book, I do live classes. From there, what do you think we do? How do you learn? Well, People learn in real time. I always tell my students, my resume is in real time, meaning this. I trade in front of my students all day. Think about that. So you have your book knowledge, like it's awesome, right? But how do you get better? You need to take the book knowledge, but you need to see the action in real time. A lot of people have chat rooms, and all you guys, as our students, will have access to our chat room and all this fun stuff. And yeah, we'll sit there and bullshit and talk to each other. You know how it goes. But it's more than that. I go on screen share. I have my trading platform up. I hit the fucking buttons in front of you. I walk you guys through what I do on an actual screen share so that you can take what's that book knowledge from my course book, from our live classes, the 28 classes that we do together. But then we apply it in real-time knowledge. You're going to watch me trade. You can actually earn while you learn. It's pretty cool, right? You watch me trade. And when you watch me trade, a couple things will happen. Two things always happen. Number one, you will start to connect the dots of your static book knowledge and then what's happening in real life. But the second part will happen. You will gain confidence because like I put on my platform, it's like today I sucked. I'm not going to lie. I sucked today. I couldn't get anything going. I only made 842 bucks. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. I made 842 bucks. I took a very small account in front of my students so that they could all duplicate what I do. So even if you had like $15,000, $20,000 account, you could probably duplicate this. If you had a smaller account, then you would just scale it down. So I had an off day. I could barely trade. I just sucked. Still made money because I followed my rules. I still did what I did best, but I traded in front of my students all day, right? So that's how you learn. Like today, I couldn't get anything going, but learning how to grind and make money when there's nothing there is also a skill, right? So today, like a couple of students had emailed me, Ryan emailed me, and Taylor emailed me and go, man, this was not the hottest I've ever seen you, but this was some of the things that I learned more today from you than any time because there was nothing going on, but you still grinded out a game. You still grinded out a little bit of money, you know, 800 bucks not pays the bar bills, but right, not my goal, but still pays the bills. So I love trading in front of my students all the time because it gives you that confidence to go out and do what you got to do. All right. Once we're done with all that, I put the students on trading simulators. We use TC2000. They go out and actually they trade. And then you know what? They share their trades with me. It's awesome because like, we put the students on simulators and then I get the chance to actually see like what they're doing. You know what I mean? So like you'll get to see like different students, you know, I'll get to see like different students essentially, you know, trade and I get to see their trades. So like I get to see each single one and then I get to grade them, which is awesome because like, so I can see like, you know, this guy's trade, he made, okay, 859 bucks. I can see where he bought, where he sold. So now what's happening is I can leave a little comment. I get to, you know, leave a little comment. So when I leave that comment, he gets emailed with that. Pretty cool, right? So that's awesome. So like I want to grade people's trades, right? I want to do all that, but that's how you learn. So like all these trades, I get to see them, right? Like, woo, this one is like we're going to have a chat about, right? This one we're going to have to so on and so forth. So first of all, this is a very successful trade. He's up $336,000.06, but he's had some big losses recently. These are things that we need to talk about. And I think that's going to be really important. And it's one of the things we talk about is just we focus on, of course, swing trading and day trading, all of that fun stuff. But the main thing is lifetime access, right? Having a mentor for life is probably the most important thing we do. Guys, put in your phone number if you want early bird pricing. We're giving the first 5 people early bird pricing. Normally we do class for $28.50. We're going to do it for $21.50 today. Of course, we got payment plans and all that kind of fun stuff. Please type in your phone number and let us know if you just want to get a call. If it's not Mary Beth or Omar and you need to talk to me, I'll get on the phone and chat with you. You want to talk about your goals? You need to talk to the big man? I will talk to you. And of course, at any time, I'm always in your corner. So you guys always get that. This is my cell number. All right? Use it. Somebody text me right now. That's my cell number. I'm always like, you'd be surprised at how often people actually text me. It's very rare. I love working with my students. I'll give you a story of just some of my best students. I have hard statistics that say my most annoying students make the most money. I mean, I've got students that are like really great students that help me and work for me or do webinars for me and stuff like that, like Dennis. Worst fucking students ever. Not like that, but like I'm talking about annoyance. Man, they'll be on top of you every day. Like, think about this. If a mentor gives you their cell number and you don't use it, what's the point, right? That's not your mentor. You're not feeling it. But like I always thought that, like I'm into business and marketing and stuff like that. Like, somebody gave me their phone number. Man, I got to use that thing, right? They offered it. I got to get it, make a relationship there. So use mine. That's my cell number. Like that's not, the reason it's 517 is I did that thing from college. Like that's my college phone number. That's my personal cell. So use it. I want to hear from you guys, man. You want to talk about a class? You want to talk about your goals? Well, I'm going to help you out with that thing. So first 5 people, early bird pricing, put in your phone numbers. Let me know. By the way, if anybody is coming into class, this software is obviously beautiful. You want these colors. You want these scans. You want everything to look the same of how it's going. Let me know. Like, I will get you these scans. I can literally, this whole layout, I can just forward it to your address. You can open it up and yours will look like this. You don't actually have to do anything. You don't have to even open anything. I will send it to you. You open one file and your whole fucking computer will look like this. So I've got scans that I have been working on my whole life. I've got these layouts I've been working on forever. I will get them to you. So anybody that's coming into class, just let me know and I'll get them to you and we'll get this party going. All right? Good, good, good. Let's open this thing up with some questions. First of all, Jacob, I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in class. Margaret, I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in class. Zach, I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in class. Jorge, my friend, ¿cómo está usted? Jason, I got you, man. Jamil, my friend. 901, is that Memphis? Hot damn. Is that 36 Mafia? Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Staten Island in the house. Diego, I got you, my friend. Diego, are you local? I'm in Destin. First of all, Diego, you better just show up to my damn house if you're A50. Diego, are you local or what, man? Shit. Oh, man, you got to... Man, Pensacola is local. What are you talking about? We're in the redneck Riviera here. Us brown people, we got to stick together. You know where we are. Yeah. Cool, Eric. I got you, brother. Diego, I'm just messing with you, man. Yeah, let's chat, man. I'd love to see you. I'll come fucking find you in Pensacola. I go there a couple times here and there. No, it'd be awesome. Guys, let's open this thing up to questions. Like, if you have questions about anything, let's chat. Ted, man, I look forward to talking to you. Man. Jorge, good question. So, guys, Jorge's talking about, besides the cost of the program, what expenses should I think about? Well, of course, we need trading accounts. So I count for maybe $2,500 to $2,000 to learn how to, to actually trade. $30 a month to $40 a month for software, TC2000 type stuff. So those are probably your main expenses. Jamil, how you doing? So good. This is a great question. So Jamil is asking, guys, what do we mean by float? So float is the number of outstanding shares that are available in the open market. So float is essentially the lower the float of a stock. So imagine this, like say you wanted to buy Google, right? Is there an infinite number of shares available of Google? If every person in the world, 8 billion people, wanted to buy 100 shares of Google, could they? No, because there's not an infinite number of shares of Google, right? There's a limited supply of shares of Google. Maybe there's 100 million shares available. That would be the float. So the lower the float, the less supply of shares there is. So when you have a low float stock, what happens is you can get stocks that have just like really, really crazy moves because they have a really low float. So the float is the number of outstanding shares available. Good, Corey. And I was just throwing Google out, as and we're, I was throwing Google out as basically just blah blah blah, right? Just as the first thing that came to my mind because I had my Gmail open. Oh, good question. So Jacob is saying, what if I have all the experience, but I want to be a part of the community? We have a chat room and stuff where I'm on screen share. You can come and hang out with us. I also, guys, do like free YouTube lives in the morning, getting everybody ready and all that fun stuff. Oh, good. So the float of my chart is always this number to the left. I always keep it to the left because it just kind of helps me focus on like where the float is. So you always see 34.2, so on and so forth. 139, 104, 39. Marco, I appreciate that. Yes, if you're from India, so I've got 3 or 4 Indian students that are like not Indians, but actually from India, and they use those tactics. Jacob, I got you, man. We'll get a hold of you tomorrow. 100%. No, look forward to it. Jacob, give me your number, by the way. Boom, boom. Man, that's a good name. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see it. Ayo, ayo. Do people come to your house and learn to trade side by side for each 60-day boot camp? We do have like 2 times a year where I have people come to the house. Probably the next one will be in October. If that's something that interests you, just let us know. We definitely do stuff like that also. Six out to the 8. Good, 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 good. 608, is that Jersey? It's either Jersey or Wisconsin. I got a friend with the 608. I think she lives in up Wisconsin. Diego, I got you, my friend. Hey, Beto, how are you, my friend? First of all, good to see you. So, guys, Beto, my friend Beto is asking, how much do I need to invest per day to monitor stocks? It's a good thing to start out at least with a couple $1,000. But I'll be honest, obviously the more capital you have, the easier just everything in life is. But it doesn't mean that you give up, right? Or you don't do what you have to do. In life, obviously, the more money you have, everything is easier. But most of us don't come from money, right? We still have to scratch and claw our way to get to where we need to get, and so I wouldn't let that, stop you. I started with just a small amount of money. Most people do. Good question. So Dan's asking, when you enter a trade, set your target and stop. Are you then in it until one is hit, or will you cut it short if you feel like it's not working? Dan, yeah, like I've been in stocks, like for example, I screwed this trade up, so it's not really the best example, but like Dan's asking, like, have you ever been in a stock you knew was going to work, but then you cut it anyways because it's just taking too long? Dan, like I took this trade for a day trade yesterday. I was in this trade called TLRY, and like I bought this thing for the breakout here, and then it just came back and retested my support. Do you see that? Like I didn't really have to sell it necessarily. It just retested my support. But like, man, I've been in this thing for a while, and I found my best trades, like they work right away. So I ended up selling this thing. It came down. I just left for the day. And then, lo and behold, like later on, it exploded. And it went from, 53 to 59. I had almost 1,000 shares of this thing when I originally sold it. So I left a lot of money on the table. I actually took a loss on it. Right? I actually took a loss on it. Mostly because like I was a little bit impatient, but sometimes like if that's not working, you just got to cut it. But the main thing is you can always get back. Oh, good. Diego, guys, is asking a really insightful question. Like, what do you think is the distribution between, day traders versus swing traders and versus option traders? I'd say like 50-50. By the way, most people that day trade will swing trade a little bit. If you think about like, okay, day trading is fun, but like your retirement accounts, your IRAs, like as much as I want to like show you guys to be the wild west and right, we're gonna make bajillions of dollars day trading. No, day trading is income. Like we take $200, $400, $500, $1,000, what we can out of it, but we still invest for growth. We still invest for exponential growth. Our day trading is to pay our cell phone bills, our car bills, our mortgages, right? Like it's a day trading income that replaces our other income, but it's not necessarily what gets you rich. It's your job, so we still need to do a little bit of investing and then a little bit of day trading at some point to get there. Jason, do you make more on day trading or swing trading? I make a lot more money on day trading versus swing trading, but that's because 90% of my trades are geared towards day trades. Yeah, BB, that is the line of the night. Swing trading is a day trade that's gone bad. Yeah, so guys, a lot of people have asked about my boot camp. Like, okay, so what happens in the boot camp? Guys, in boot camp, remember, you get lifetime access. I don't have to boot you out. My students are mine for life. If you've never been used to that, like you never had somebody barking up your ass for 2, 3, 4 years, ask some of my students. I got students right now. I work with this guy, fucking Vikram, Indian motherfucker from Edmonton. I love this kid. I'm just kidding. I love this kid, but he's been with me 5 years. Today I call him a piece of shit because he's been making $2,000 every week. But then today he made a drastic mistake. I'm still up on his ass no matter what. Like, you still got to have an involved teacher. Now, should I call him asshole? Probably not. I'm a little bit passionate. What are you going to do? But, you know, he's 25 years old. He's been with me since he's a young man. I figured he could handle it. And yeah, I called him a dirty name. What are you going to do? But that's what you need sometimes, is somebody that cares so much that they're willing to offend you to get you to where you got to go. And of course, I'm still learning how to be a good teacher. And sometimes I got to learn how to rein it back too. Like, shit, like I'm so intense sometimes. I feel the pressure sometimes too. Like, fuck, am I being way too hard on people or what not? But like, I want people to learn. And so I stay up day and night, like all day. Like, I don't have a fucking girlfriend. I don't have children, right? Like, this is my thing. Like, you know, I want people to learn how to do this. Like, I know it. Like, man, I have traveled to 50 different countries in the last few years. Like, I've had everything. I want people to learn how to do it. And I get a little riled up about it. And so I'm up on people's asses all day. But I'm a pretty good teacher still. Like, even when I'm barking at you, I'm hugging you, you know? So that's always the, you know, important thing is I'm hugging you no matter what. Like I said, I gave you guys my phone number, right? You can call me and ask me whatever. I got nothing to hide. Hey, Nathan, I got a few students. Johnny Pasca's from Edmonton. Joshy Mudrick's, of course, from Edmonton. We got a few of them. Guys, you can tell me, you can name me any city in North America. I tell you students there. Hey, Poom Poom. Man, that's a nice name, by the way. Poom Poom Poom. Let me say, ayo, ayo. Poom Poom. I mean, I'll figure something out. You know, you want to chat? We'll figure something out. I mean, we can transfer your credits or whatever. Guys, so what I was saying is, like, our boot camp class, everything, by the way, is recorded and archived. So this is my 60-day boot camp class. It's a 60-day trading boot camp course. So you get the registration links, you get your quizzes, you get all the old videos, right? All the documents you need, resources, and then you get video archives that you can watch the old boot camps, and then just, you know, tons of other random stuff around. But like every single thing I do is recorded, just like today's class. Good, good, good. Anybody else got any questions? Macon, is that a 678 area code or a 404? Guys, Paul Singh does our swing trading section of the boot camp, of course. And then I run the day trading. My best short setup is probably a PR earnings breakdown, which means I'm looking for stocks that gap down, and then I take ORBs or quick pullback buys. I got you, Eric. Jacob Oakley, Mary Beth says that you've been giving him problems. What's up with that? Oh, yeah. Don't think I haven't caught you. Yeah, I'm just messing. Well, Mary Beth says that you don't like taking phone calls anymore. Hey, Saul, we'll have a tax guy come and talk to everybody in boot camp, but in essence, it's not the exact, and I'm not a professional on taxes, but your personal income tax and your capital gains tax they're in the same ballpark. Mark Andrew, how you doing? Do you think Interactive Brokers is a good platform for day trading? Yeah. Jorge, after 3 months on the share screen program, how much is it to extend the feature? Like $300 a year, probably. Eee! Man, I'll let Jacob know. Jacob, I think you guys got your lines crisscrossed. And I'm also teasing you a little bit. She just said that she's already been talking to you. She's my homegirl. You know, Mary Beth has been with me since she was 21 years old, so it's almost a decade. What's better, charting software, TC2000 or Trading View? TC2000 by 1,000 million miles. I mean, look at the way TC2000 looks and the different layouts you have versus fucking Trading View. Marco, do you have any videos on using TC2000? Yeah, I can show you all how to do TC2000. We do it obviously in the boot camp, and I've made really a quadrillion videos on it. Eric, I'm not a big when trading on a simulator, is there any type of simulator that allows you to trade on previous day's market activity? Of course. We've got 2 of them. Jacob, you've got to have those, by the way. So, like, when we're talking about simulators, like, of course, we're talking about real day simulators, but we also need ones where you can replay the market. That's how you get repetitions. I'll let Mary Beth know. She said she's supposed to talk to you tomorrow. I'll have her send them to you. Hey Nathan, I could have you, I could ask somebody to give you a call on that stuff. Only like people that have completed our boot camp and have really gone through the ringer are really eligible for that. So you have probably a little bit of way to go, but I can have you give a call and kind of somebody give you the parameters of what you need to do. Hey, Jacob, Mary Beth says tomorrow is your big day. Otherwise, she's going to make you, she says she's going to make you hop on the replay simulator and do ORB patterns for 2 weeks. Which brokerage account should I take to Real Trading in BC? Jorge, there's quite a few options. There's Speed Trader, there's Interactive Brokers, there's quite a few options. If you give me a call or you want to chat on email, I can walk you through I can walk you through all like the little ins and outs of that, of the different brokers. Yeah, Canadians use typically Questrade and Interactive Brokers. You're right. Good, good, good. Anybody else? Awesome, Mr. Belding. By the way, Mr. Belding, I mean, Mr. Belding is also the most famous principal of all time. To you guys, if you guys don't remember, Saved by the Bell.
And that brings us back to the present and the Zack Attacks reunion concert. Friends forever. It's a nice idea.
Man, Saved by the Bell might be the best show of all time. Somebody try to tell me that stupid Breaking Bad was a good show. Like, come on, compared to Saved by the Bell. Who's cooler than Zach Morris? Nobody. Hey, Boom Boom, we got no mobile app, man. I'm not a big believer in trading off the phone, unless you're swing trading. Jorge, I have no experience trading Trade Zero. I'm not familiar with it. Man, Kelly Kapowski's so hot. Woo! Man. Mr. T, what's up? Vasilos. Vasilos asking, when does the early bird special for boot camp expire? Vasilos, leave me your name, your phone number. I'll have somebody just put you on a list and give you a call. And if you're thinking about it, they'll probably just add you in, or I don't know. We're trying to keep it to 5 because usually I limit boot camp to 40-ish people the last few times. So whatever you need, we'll help you out. I wouldn't worry too much about it. No pressure here. Man, if you want that merch, man, you got to come to my house and get it. Hey, Poom Poom, you got to have a computer to trade at our place. I just don't have a mobile app, frankly. Probably should. I got you, Vasilo. 978, is that Dirty Jersey? I'm from Jersey. Boston. Okay. I got tons of students over that way. Are you Greek? Vasilos! Good, 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 good. My friend, that's good. All my, we're from Detroit. Everybody's got, we all got Greek friends in Detroit. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I work back to this day. Just kidding. Guys, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow. I got my buddy Brian coming on. He's a good man, but you're going to learn a little bit of strategy that's just way different than what I do, but it's similar to what I do. It's a really interesting story. I think you guys are really going to like it because it's great for part-time traders and long-term traders. I look forward to seeing you guys all. If anybody needs the TC 2000 scans or early bird special, let me know. Put in your email, put in your phone number. We'll give you a call tomorrow. You won't want to miss Brian tomorrow. Frankly, he's a better trader than I am probably. He's younger and skinnier and he's got more hair and you know the drill. I love you guys. As always, speak now or forever hold your peace. My friends, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been fast. And it has been an honor to have every single one of you guys in this. Man, after a decade of doing this, seriously, it brings tears to my eyes to just know that you goofballs show up to hear me babble on about my life's passion, which is trading stocks. I love you guys. I take this to heart. I never take it for granted that you guys show up and give me your attention and your hard-earned time. You only get so much time in this world. I appreciate that. And look, we're going to put on a show tomorrow. I apologize for being a few minutes late today. You know how it goes. But, you know, when you're a single man, things happen. But tomorrow, we've got to do what we got to do. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to leave it on the table. I know Brian is. And when we're done, we will have nothing left. I look forward to seeing everybody mañana. That's Spanish.